Okay, everyone, you know what time it is. It's meteorologists around the world, but today we're not meeting a meteorologist, but rather a first alert weather watcher. Bobby Rowe is from Pale City, Alabama, so let's head on over to Pale City to meet him. You're a weather watcher, Bobby. Tell us a little bit about where that came about. How did that start?
Well, it came about back in 1977, until I'm going to tell you my age, probably. But I went to work, started to work, got to work, and was standing in the doorway at the police department in Fulton, and there were some bad storms. I hadn't been there 30 minutes and was watching everything else at the door, and like somebody turned the lights out. And that's when there was an EF5 tornado come up out of Birmingham and come up out of 65 North and cleaned the hilltop off at Smithfield, leveled the houses up there. Well, I just happened to be on the rescue units that day and was out there in the middle of it. And the devastation was it was like a bomb went off. It just leveled the whole mountaintop up there, all them houses, brand new houses. And that's what got me interested in the weather.
So this happened back in 1977. So at that time, that sparked your interest in weather, right?
Right.
So when did you become a weather watcher?
Well, I was involved in another storm in 2011, April 27, 2011, when we had the bad outbreak everywhere. And so I was going to work as usual. It always hits when I go to work. And I was going down I-20 westbound, going to Trussville. And I got up to Cook Springs, topped off the hill, and the rain was just terrific. You couldn't even see the drive on the interstate. You couldn't even see the interstate. And I just stopped dead middle in the interstate, and I thought, oh, I hope nobody hits rear ends of me up here. And so the computer went down, everything went down. I couldn't see. I saw the storm coming on the computer. And when it eased up enough, you could see the drive. When I got down to Brompton, there was trees all over the interstate. Brompton exit was shut down, like they never got around through there. Well, I called my son because he lived down there then, right there off the Brompton exit. I said, "Hey, you all okay?" He said, "No, my house is destroyed." I said, "What about the kids?" He said, "We had them in the bathtub, and they're okay. Everybody's okay, but my house is destroyed." And so I finally had to work my way back through Moody to get back to Trussville and everything. There was just trees down. I mean, it was just houses tore up and everything else. And so after that, got to researching. Well, the National Weather Service had a sky warning program, so I went to the basic program and took it. And then after that, I thought, well, I'm gonna finish it, and went to the graduate program and finished that. And after that, it led into one thing, and then saw the thing on Channel 6, Hunting Weather Watchers, applied for it, and got it.
Wow, that is amazing. So not only do you have experience like keeping track of the storms, but you've lived through this.
Oh, I've lived through several.
Like you lived through this.
We had one come through here several years ago that come right up beside. We stood out there on the deck and watched it come up the river. And when it did, it jumped into Cropple over here. And when it did, it come straight up through here and hit across 34 highway and just tore that all up back up in yonder.
Just wanted to make a quick disclaimer that although Bobby doesn't leave his mobile home or hasn't in the past during severe weather, listen, we advise no one to do that, okay? So that's our disclaimer for severe weather safety. It's vital that you find a storm shelter or safe place to go to. But we'll get back to Bobby's interview. And like he mentioned, the nearest storm shelter for him in Pale City is the courthouse. So if you're in Pale City, that's your safe place to go, especially if you're in a mobile home. So that's a quick disclaimer. Back to the video.
Get scary.
Well, that leads me to my next question. So when a storm does come near this area, where do you go?
The closest place here is the courthouse in Pale City. They've got a storm shelter up there, down in the basement down there. But I've always stayed here, but there's been times I wish I was debating on whether to get out and go or what.
Now, because you're a weather watcher, do your neighbors and people sort of rely on you?
Yeah, I'll get phone calls all the time wanting to know, "Bobby, what's the weather going to do? What's the weather going to do?" And I'll say, "Well, I'll let you know." And so when it starts getting bad, I'll start texting.
Show us a little bit about your equipment and what you use when it comes to even just tracking day-to-day weather.
Yeah, this one here, this is a Omega Radar. This is a new program. It's Omega Radar, and right now it's in 3D. And that storm just got out of Pale City right there. One up here, this is Omega Radar. That's high velocity setup. And then this is a GLR level 3 radar coming off Allison House. This goes to my weather station on the roof. it's amazing how that stuff can travel like it does.
Literally, in a matter of minutes, just destroy everything in its path.
I know. It's wild.
It is wild. So that's why we appreciate people like you, all of our weather watchers. It's a pleasure speaking with you today, Bobby, and we look forward to you, especially for the spring season.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, well, now we head to the Indian Ocean where Cyclone Freddy made landfall Tuesday along the east coast of Madagascar. The picture on your screen is a snapshot of the satellite imagery of Freddy. Cyclone Freddy had winds around 80 miles per hour and brought hurricane-force winds, storm surge, and heavy rainfall to the island country. Unfortunately, the east coast of Madagascar is still recovering, destroying homes and leaving thousands without a place to live. We send our thoughts and prayers to them.